following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Welcome into another edition of Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. It just went away, didn't it? It just kind of fell. It's so sad. Bo's gonna work on his mic stand here. There we go. You gotta get it real tight, man. That's crazy. Such is life around here. It's all good. It's a Thursday edition. That means high school football tonight. College football kicking off. The University of Tennessee will be taking on Ball State, the Cardinals, as they come to Neyland Stadium tonight. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into so much more. It's going to be a fantastic show. This Thursday and Fridays are my favorite days of the week. We get a chance to preview high school football on Thursdays. We talk college football on Fridays for the rest of the all the way through December. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Looking forward to this show. And Mo, how are you?
Better now.
Now that your microphone is up.
I'm sitting here doing a little late show prep and thought that I had that addressed and looked down and did not. So
it's what you get for doing it too early.
I guess. Never a dull moment around here.
Hey, we roll with the punches around here.
I got no choice. Either that or get knocked out.
So. Look like butterflies, sting like bees sometimes. Not all the time, though. We got a lot to get to in this show, Mo, so we might as well go ahead and get right on into it because, well, it's not a super long rundown today. But we do have a few scores from yesterday and a lot of games coming today. So we're going to give it to you right here on the rundown.
Wednesday volleyball action. It was Eagleville blanking Moore County 3-0. Father Ryan over Lipscomb Academy 3-0. Lawrence County in 5 sets down Spring Hill 3-2. Summertown with a 3-0 win over Stewart's Creek, and Riverdale over Webb School of Bell Buckle 3-0. And girls soccer, it's Valor Collegiate and Ezel Harding playing to a 2-2 draw, and Overton with a 2-0 win over Montgomery Central.
In pro baseball action, it was the Brewers taking care of the Pirates 6-1 in 13 innings. The Cardinals down the Reds 5-3. The Braves get a 3-2 win over the Rockies, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. The Cubs 7-5 winners over the Blue Jays, and Memphis downs the Sounds 9-3. In MLS action, Nashville Soccer goes out to Colorado, gets a 4-1 win over the Rapids.
Thursday high school football action. West Creek is at Gallatin. That's a 7 o'clock kick, as are these other 3 games. Smith County is at Maplewood. Pearl-Cone hosts Hillwood, and Mount Pleasant travels to Cascade. In volleyball action this evening, 5 o'clock start. Mount Pleasant is at Hampshire. At 5:30, Donaldson Christian hosts Ezel Harding. Columbia Academy travels to Webb School, and Providence Christian hosts Middle Tennessee Christian.
At 6 o'clock tonight, it's East Hickman at Santa Fe. Blackman hosting Stewart's Creek. Columbia Central at home against Page. Culleoka travels to Fayetteville. Giles County at home against Lawrence County. Creekwood goes to Harpeth, and Rockville at Laverne.
Also at 6, Lewis County is at Loretto. Spring Hill hosts Marshall County. Zion Christian hosts Franklin Road Christian. Smyrna travels to Oakland. Smyrna goes to Oakland at 6:30. Also at 6:30, Riverdale is at Siegel, and time undisclosed. Station Camp is at Gallatin.
Girls soccer action this afternoon. First touch CPA at Brentwood Academy at 4:30. Also at 4:30, Glencliff is at Valor Collegiate. At 5 o'clock, Clarksville Academy is hosting Davidson Academy. DCA goes to Goodpasture. Grace Franklin is at Providence Christian, and Independence Academy is at Lead Academy.
At 5 o'clock as well, Mount Juliet Christian is at Ezel Harding. Friendship Christian hosts Nashville Christian. Smyrna travels to Wilson Central. Cane Ridge takes on visiting St. Cecilia Academy. And Antioch is at Laverne. 5:30 starts. Lipscomb Academy goes to Harpeth Hall. Franklin County hosts Murfreesboro Central. And STEM Academy is at East Roberts.
Harpeth is at Cheatham at 6 o'clock tonight. First Touch also at 6 for the rest of these. Sycamore at Fairview. Creekwood hosting Greenbrier. Hume Fog is at MLK. Huntland at Culleoka. Giles County welcomes Page, while Lebanon goes to Green Hill. Pope Prep's at home against Innsworth. The Rossview's at Portland. Middle Tennessee Christian is at Tullahoma. And Montgomery Central goes to Waverly.
At 6:30, East Hickman hosts Whites Creek. Also, Middle Tennessee Golden Eagles. I assume that's a homeschool.
Sounds like.
Plays at Franklin Road Academy. At 6:30, Kenwood is at Hunters Lane. Watertown is at Zion Christian. No, Watertown is at York Institute. Zion Christian hosts Richland. There we go. Also at 6:30, Riverdale is at Rockvale. At 7, Blackman hosts Oakland, Clarksville hosts Springfield, and White House Heritage goes to Clarksville Northeast.
Columbia Central is at Coffee County. First Touch at 7. Also at 7, Independence at Franklin. Liberty Creek hosting Macon County. Station Camps at Mount Juliet. Nolensville travels to Ravenwood. Siegel is at Stewart's Creek. Summit hosting Brentwood. And Dixon County is at West Creek.
Major League Baseball of local interest. The Braves finish up their 3-game series against the visiting Colorado Rockies. That's a 6:20 start. At 8:40, Milwaukee is at Arizona. And in minor league action, the Memphis Redbirds are at First Horizon Park against the Sounds. That's a 7:05 start. NCAA football. Sound the trumpets. Ball State is at Neyland Stadium against the host Tennessee Volunteers. That's a 6 o'clock kick on the SEC Network, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is today's rundown.
I always like that little record scratch.
Yeah.
You know. Mo, top story today. We had several options, but we decided to go with a college football playoff meeting that apparently has taken place, according to Pete Thamel, and could potentially see an expanded playoff a little bit before maybe initially thought. Obviously, the contract ends in 26, but they've been working on getting something in place for that. Thamel reports that if a decision is made, it could take place in the 23-24 season.
So it would be the next year.
This could be the last year of a 14 playoff, potentially.
Well, probably can't happen soon enough, really. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the objection is. You know, when we first began talking about an expanded playoff, 8 was the number. And all of a sudden 12 came on the scene. And it's like
somebody popped up 16 like pretty quick. I think that was the Pac-12.
I think 16 is too many. And as we spoke with Bill Hancock when we were in Atlanta, the CFP czar, he seemed to really enjoy the thought of 12 as well. I think it cures a lot of ills because it incentivizes the top 4 finishes. It gets every conference a guaranteed berth. It gets your group of 5 taken care of, and you've got enough at-larges that.
And you increase the number of at-larges you have.
Mm-hmm. So I think 12 is a really good number, and I think it works well.
I think what 12 does is it keeps the regular season important.
Mm-hmm.
And expanding the playoff, as I've said, and I've argued this for the last 24 hours on Twitter. Right now, there are 20 teams who can conceivably win a national championship every year. 20, maybe.
You mean the same 20?
The same 20.
Every year?
Every year. And the reason being is because the only way to safely bet that you will play for a national championship is to go to one of those 20 schools if you are a top recruit. It's the only way to safely bet. Now, could you go to Washington and you get in the playoff once, randomly? Sure. But it's not always going to happen. You can bet that if you go to one of 15 to 20 schools that within the 4 years.
I'm not even sure it's 20, to be honest.
It's probably more like 12.
12. Mm-hmm.
But that's neat. benefit of the doubt here.
Mhm.
But if you get to if you go to 12, you then increase that to about 70 teams, all 65 P5 teams, and 5 to 8 G5 teams who are consistently in the top 25.
Mhm.
What that then does, along with the transfer portal and NIL, it allows teams like Kentucky and Minnesota, who do not have a shot at the championship because they just don't have the players, they get a shot to get into the playoff, which they may be a 9, 10, 11, 12 seed for 2 or 3 years, but then they're going to be an 8 seed one year or a 6 seed. And then eventually, after 10 or 15 years, Kentucky's a perennial playoff contender, and they may be up there in the top 4.
Well, and not only that, but if you're in the playoff,
there's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And people just don't understand that that's going to help create more parity. You also are going to get some 8 seeds in the national championship game. It's going to happen.
And 8's going to be the 1, is what you're saying.
At some point, something's going to happen and it's going to be fun to watch. And do you know the percentage of teams that make the college football playoff right now?
The percentage of teams that make the college football playoff right now. 4 out of 130.
130.
So
3%. If the college basketball tournament took just 3%, how many teams would that be?
9?
9. That's correct. If the NCAA basketball tournament were just 9 teams,
people would revolt.
Would we have ever heard of Mark Few? A team that is now a perennial number 1 seed in the NCAA basketball tournament after 15 years. We would have never heard of it.
Right.
Gonzaga would not be Gonzaga because there were only 9 teams that with a chance to win the championship, and Gonzaga wasn't going to be in that tournament.
Heck, Xavier wouldn't be Xavier.
So my point,
I mean, there's any number of teams that you could probably say that about realistically. Anybody that's not a Power 5 program.
Exactly. So this is my
or
point.
Power 6 for basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Big East. Yeah. But to me, it just makes sense that you're going to have the Appalachian states and the coastal Carolinas, who are perennial playoff contenders, start getting some 4 stars and 5 stars, because the easiest way to get there is go to coastal or Appalachian State.
Right.
It's just my that's my argument right now. I think it will create more parity, and it still keeps the regular season. It still matters because you can get those buys or you can get that first round home game.
And I think all of those are good reasons. I mean, those are all sound. So
there you go. Anyway, looking forward to seeing what happens. Let's.
It's interesting the way that situation kind of ebbs and flows. I mean, it was hot talk a couple of months ago, and then it kind of died down, and now we're right here at the start of college football season, and it kind of kicks back up, and somebody needs to go ahead and make a decision so we can get ready for it.
That's right. We want to know what's coming.
Exactly.
We got a lot to get to. What's coming in this show, Mo, is Charles Rathbone will join us here in just a moment, the head football coach at Page High School. So you guys stick around here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be right back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones and Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones and Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back into Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Yao alongside the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, coming to you from Columbia down here in southern Middle Tennessee, and we are so glad to have you guys with us on this Thursday edition. We've got a lot to get to, Mo, and we're going to get right into it. So why don't we start with a little award?
Oh, yeah.
We've got a couple of awards to give out, so let's kick it off with the In to Win Life Team of the Week. Southern Middle Tennessee's Team of the Week, brought to you by our friends at Custom Stone Handlers.
Mount Pleasant's Tigers continued to go without allowing an offensive touchdown or an offensive point.
Yeah.
In a 43-0 win over visiting Scotts Hill to open the home portion of their season in week 2. So through 2 games, Mount Pleasant outscored their opponent 73-2, only allowing a safety in that opener over at East Hickman. But pitched a shutout last week. And so for their effort there, the Tigers are our In to Win Life Southern Middle Tennessee Team of the Week.
Good job there. Kit Hartsfield and his crew heading over to Cascade tonight, trying to keep that rolling. He said that 16 points, Mo, that's too many. He can't be giving up 16 tonight.
He did say that. He did say that. I'm not sure he said it for public consumption, but he did say it. So
I think, look, I think it's pretty obvious that his team is –
they're pretty salty on the defensive side of the ball.
They don't want to give up a point. You make sure that they don't gain another yard kind of thing. So
they will forever remember. Huh? Okay.
That's right.
The night they played the Tigers. The Tigers. Yeah.
Let's move on to our Middle Tennessee Bone & Joint Southern Middle Tennessee Athlete of the Week.
Columbia Academy sophomore running back Monte Baldwin rushed for 210 yards and 3 touchdowns on 20 carries and scored on a 59-yard touchdown reception in the Bulldogs' 28-14 win last week at Waverly. And if you're keeping count, that was all 4 of Columbia Academy's touchdowns.
Yeah, big night for Monte. Congratulations to that young man.
Yeah. So
all right. So now we finally get to our Coach's Corner segment, brought to you by our friends at From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. We do love Renee Hart and the fine folks over there. Looking forward to chatting here with Page High School football coach Charles Rathbone. Coach, what's going on?
Man, just living the dream. How are y'all doing?
We're doing well, Coach. Appreciate you taking some time with us. Guess you're getting ready for that Thursday walkthrough before your matchup tomorrow night down at Spring Hill to open Region 6-5A action.
Yeah, you're cutting into my nap time. I take a nap before practice usually.
My bad, Coach. We'll see if we can get you off here real quick. Coach, this is a little bit different year for you guys than in the past, in that after advancing to the Class 5A state championship game for the first time in program history, finishing up 13-2, you guys are kind of the hunted instead of the hunters this time around. What have you seen out of your team in terms of embracing that role of being everybody's biggest game?
Well, so far I think the response from our guys has been to be more physical, to take on the challenge and we're not throwing the ball around as much this year, and we're running the ball more. And we've gotten bigger up front, more physical up front, and I think that's been the answer, and it's worked well so far. Just to be more physical at the line of scrimmage and try to impose our will on people.
That's one of the things that I noticed last year about this team. You did throw the ball around a lot because you had some great athletes on the outside and obviously at quarterback. You didn't lose. It's not easy to lose a guy like Jake McNamara, but you certainly have found a signal caller worthy of replacing him and doing things that you want to do. What's it like to not have to worry too much about such an important position?
Well, I think you always worry because you worry about depth, and he was the region defensive player of the year last year in Colin Hurd. So, he's still got to play some defense. So we're trying to manage his workload and play him still on defense and then get our offense rolling. And, for us, the best way to do that is to run Ethan Cunningham and to lean on that offensive line a little bit more and then take our shots with Colin when we can. And so far he's done a really good job at doing that. And Colin's running the ball a little bit more than what we want him to. But when he has chosen to run, he's been very effective. So it's a tight-roping act for all of us, and we're still learning how to do it. And so far, he's done it pretty well.
And you had talked about that summer, Coach, and I, the prospect of Colin Hurd being your starting quarterback. And he did some good things for you early last year when Jake was unavailable to you. So you knew that he could play it, but your concern was managing his workload defensively with his, chores at linebacker. How do you feel like that's going so far, and how do you address that from game to game?
Well, really from game plan to game plan, it's different. But Brendan Ains has done a really good job of stepping up and taking on more of that responsibility at the outside linebacker and freed Colin up to play more offense. So, we've leaned heavily on Colin on the offensive side of the ball, and he kind of comes in on defense as a closer. If they're driving or if we're getting tired a little bit, he'll come in and create some energy and kind of pick everybody up and usually make a big play for us. And that's he's been consistent at doing that throughout his career, and hopefully he can keep doing that. But just managing that workload. We got a snap count that we want him to have, and we try to stay true to that. And if we can manage that snap count either with running the ball some more or screens or some stuff that really doesn't take a whole lot off of him or a lot from him, which has been good for us. And so it's again, it's kind of like that tight wire act. You don't want him running the ball every play. You don't want him throwing the ball every play, even though he could. He's got an incredible arm. He's got a better arm than Jake McNamara, to be honest with you. But you just kind of want to, there's a lot of ways to do it. So we're trying to do it in little increments on both sides of the ball and with what we do on offense.
Charles Rathbone, veteran Page football coach, joining us here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe in Chapel Hill. The Patriots currently ranked number 1 for a second straight week in the Associated Press Class 5A statewide poll. They are ranked number 13, up a spot from 14 in the Main Street Preps top 25 after a 19-0 win against Fairview to open the season, and then a 28-17 win this past week against Franklin. Again, going to Spring Hill tomorrow night, opening region play. What are your concerns as you get into region play? You get going up against folks who are a little bit more familiar with you maybe than those first two opponents?
Well, I guess our biggest concern is us, to be honest with you. We're a little bit banged up right now. We're going to be missing some guys that we lean on quite a bit first 2 games. So we just got to have some guys step up and hopefully use our depth and execute the game plan accordingly. And that's kind of the game plan for tomorrow. What are these guys going to do? So, I enjoy playing these teams. I enjoy Coach Martin. He's a good guy, and gotten to know him quite a bit over the last couple of years. So I expect it to be a pretty good atmosphere tomorrow night. And we just got to do our job, whether it's Colin Hurd or Jonathan Palmer or whoever's in there. They got to do what they're coached to do and execute the game plan. And we got to lean on that offensive line and see what they can do.
Coach, this region is incredibly tough year in and year out, and Class 5A as a whole is always just up in the air. It just feels like that, anytime you go out in Class 5A and in this region particularly, anybody can beat anybody, and that's something that you have to make sure that your team understands after coming off of a state championship game performance. How has that mindset for your team been? Has it been easy to kind of remind them that, hey, what you did last year doesn't matter anymore?
Not really. Our region is one of the toughest in the state. If you look at last year in the first round of the playoffs, we won 3 out of 4 games, and really Franklin County should have beat Green Hill. It come down to, the last few minutes of the game for the Green Hill to pull that out. And if you think about us, we were 2 or 3 plays away from winning the state championship. And it was execution plays. It was a late hit out of bounds. It was not fielding a kickoff, fumbling the ball. Little things like that cost us a state championship. And I think these guys, the senior class, really refocused and decided they're going to do even more in depth the little things correctly, prepare every week to get ready, not take anybody for granted, and show up every Friday night and play hard. And, that's kind of our MO. We play hard. And that, we're not going to be the most athletic team. We're not going to be the biggest team, but we will play hard until the final whistle. And these guys, they buy into that, and they live that, they breathe that. And, on Friday night, they execute that.
Coach, this team, the kids that are coming back from last year's state championship game run, is there a sense of, man, we made history last year, or is it more a sense of wanting to take that next step, being hungrier from getting there and not coming back with the gold ball?
I think it's more of a let's take that next step. We left a championship out there that we should have had, and I think we'll all probably live that for the rest of our lives and feel that for the rest of our lives. And hopefully this year is a feeling of redemption of finishing what we started last year. And and I think that's going to be our motto, our theme, our fight throughout this year. Who knows? We may finish 2-8. Who knows? But I think these kids are going to play hard and believe that they can win every single game. And once you believe, you're a tough out. If you can believe and play hard every game, you're a tough out. And I'm hoping that's what we bring to the table.
Well, Mo,
I don't think they're going to finish 2-8, by the way.
No, I don't think 2-8 is on the table. But hey, we're not. Don't tell your kids we said that. Mo, we've seen a Williamson County team struggle in a state championship game and then come back the very next year and win a Class 5A state title. So it can be done. It has been done. We've seen
pretty recently
that movie.
Absolutely. Yeah, we know how it ends.
So Coach, certainly.
I will say we don't have anybody on the team with the Wade twins either.
Well,
that made a big difference.
It does, in fact, but you got a lot of Brady Pierces out there. You got a lot of kids with a lot of heart, a lot of kids with blue collar work ethic, and I think that goes a long way. And I certainly, every time we watch Page play, it is a hard fought football game, and I think your kids, they really embody that what Page football has always been about and what Charles Rathbone football has always been about.
I will say this though, I think we can do without another Henry County game.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you on that one. I don't. Come on, Springfield.
That one will be interesting too. Charles Rathbone, Page football, joining us here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. Coach, go get your nap.
Oh, I'm ready. Thank you all so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, we're going to take a quick break, Mo. When we come back, the Titans have made a interesting signing. We'll get to that. Tennessee Ball State coming your way. So all of that and much more here on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joints. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Back once again here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao and Mo Patton coming to you on this beautiful Thursday, Mo. It is a nice day outside.
It's nice. I mean, it's warm, which makes me wonder how warm it's going to be for this Mount Pleasant Cascade game later this evening.
Yeah, every morning I get the weather report on Mornings on Main Street, and today he says it's going to be the humidity isn't super high, so that's positive. Take that. And so it's supposed to get, it was 61 last night, so maybe the low will creep down near the 60s tonight and be around 70, high 60s, low 70s. That'd be nice.
It would be nice, yeah.
A little crisp fall air, if you will. So. Well, as we were getting ready for the show, we saw the Tennessee Titans made a unique signing to their practice squad. And I'm curious, is there any way that a Josh Gordon signing can benefit this team during the regular season at some point?
I think there's a scenario for it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's a very talented receiver on the field.
So, and how much of him not having played for so long matters? I mean, is that why he got cut from the Chiefs, do you think? I mean,
I would think as much as anything, he probably got cut from the Chiefs because the Chiefs have a lot of really talented receivers.
They do.
And so then secondarily, perhaps his time away was an issue. But I would think, if anything, the fact that he hasn't played in a while,
fresh legs
may work in his favor. I mean,
very well could.
So, I mean, maybe a little bit more tread on the tires than your average. 30 than your average 31-year-old
I was gonna
receiver.
say, he's up there.
Yeah.
These days. I
So-
mean, the last time that we saw him have much impact in the league, he was probably 26.
Mhm.
And here's the thing. Look, if you have a choice, if you're the Titans and you've got a choice between Josh Gordon and Des Fitzpatrick, I'm going Josh Gordon every time.
All day,
Just
every
because
day.
Dude can
He's
fly,
done it.
and he's done it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll take the veteran mentality over, a young kid every time. So this does give the Titans a little bit extra depth in a place that they certainly could use it.
Yeah.
And if he comes in and does well,
Hadn't cost you a whole lot, that's for sure.
there you go.
But yeah, released by the Chiefs, caught 5 passes for 32 yards and 1 touchdown in 12 games last year. And I don't really know, was that with the Chiefs? Was he with the Chiefs last
so.
year? Okay. Andy Reid, a couple of days ago. Listen, I'm proud of Josh for all that he did. It was a real pleasure to have him here. There's a chance that he potentially is back here, and if it doesn't work out somewhere else, but just from a football standpoint, but also the bigger picture of things, he really did a heck of a job. So, I mean, Andy Reid as a fan, that's not a bad thing. He's seen a little bit.
Again, a guy who, probably just a product of their wide receiver room is that good.
I'm thinking so, more than anything, or as much as anything. But, clearly he's had his issues.
I mean, he caught as many touchdown passes last year than Julio Jones did.
When are we going to get off Julio?
Well, I'm just saying, in the world that we're talking about with the Tennessee Titans, this guy doesn't cost you near as much. He's a flyer, but he gives you veteran depth. And the Titans need veteran depth at a low cost at the wide receiver position.
Sure, because, I mean, once you get past you've got Robert Woods,
who is your clear number one.
Clear. You've got Traylon Burks, who you hope is your number 2. You've got NWI. But there's not
wasn't bad.
No, not at all. But
a solid.
But I mean, there's not a whole lot in that room that is keeping defensive coordinators awake at night.
No, I mean, Austin Hooper gives you a little bit from the tight end position. All they're doing is saying, don't let them take the top off just because you got sucked in by Derrick Henry play action. That's the key. I mean,
and I think really that's all the Titans are looking for are some threats on the outside that keep you out of the box.
That's right. Keep you out of the box. That's the key. That's the entire key. So I'm looking forward to it. I think Josh Gordon gives them an option.
And I hope it works out because I hope it works out just because I feel like his career at this point hasn't lived up to his talent.
I agree.
So we'll see how it goes.
All right. It's time to talk about kickoff. I don't have I was going to pull up a video that said that with John Ward, but couldn't get one and figure out how to get it loaded in. So,
well, you've got a lot going on over there.
Yeah, it's football time in Tennessee, though, Mo.
Yeah, it is. I was watching a local 10 o'clock news telecast last night, and they made mention of the fact that football season is here. And I mumbled, football season's been here for 2 weeks. I don't know where y'all been.
After tomorrow night, high school football season will be almost 30% over.
So, but yeah, there's been football being played, but the football that the large majority of people pay attention to pretty well starts tonight.
The question that I have is Tennessee 35.5 point favorites. Do they cover?
That's a lot. So you're talking You said 35 and a half.
That's right.
So 42-7, they lose.
That's right. So
Tread lightly.
the only thing that I can say is that this offense it will be virtually unstoppable. It will matter how many points they score in the first half.
Yeah, because then they're going to start working some other folks in.
Hopefully. I mean, let's be honest.
Theoretically, if things go the way you would expect them to go as we sit here at 240. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't think I mess with 35 and a half.
It would be hard.
What did you do? Did you take Ball State?
I did.
There you go. I think that's a smart move, really. No disrespect to UT. Just that's a lot of points.
It is. The return of Chase Bishop to Neyland Stadium.
You know, it's funny. Encountered Blaine Bishop a few times over the last couple of weeks out at Titans training camp and at the Titans preseason games and that kind of thing. Apparently, Chase has switched sides of the ball. They've got him at defensive back.
They do have him at cornerback.
Which kind of makes sense. It worked once. You know? So, but I asked Blaine if he was going, and he said he ain't going to play. So, Daddy knows something.
That's what Santa Claus's dad from Fairfield thought too. That time he scored that touchdown, and I told you where he wasn't kid wasn't even on the roster. They beat the team so bad they had kids in there that wasn't even on the roster.
Oh Lord!
He said, "Daddy, I scored a touchdown." He said, "Son, don't come here and lie to me like you scored. You know you didn't play in the varsity game last night." Yes, I did.
God.
So you know you never know.
You never know.
Mean, if it gets to be 63-7.
Maybe.
Clearly, the cornerback that's out there probably ain't doing so hot.
Might as well, huh? Yeah.
Brew McCoy and Jalen Hyatt
Mm-hmm.
and Cedric Tillman and the rest of this Vols wide receiver core. And then on top of that, you've got a run game that's at least better than decent.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add in what Five can do with his legs. This is a very dangerous offense. I think the biggest thing for me tonight is to see what the defense looks like. What does the defensive backfield look like?
Oh, I think that's absolutely the biggest thing. And it's tough to really gauge against a Ball State team that should be out physicaled. So, but that's what you're looking for. I mean, you feel like this offense in year 2 under Heupel and what you saw last year, you feel like they're going to be improved or at least as good, and as good may be good enough. But this defense, you've got, what do they average? 420 a game? Yards allowed?
It was a lot. I have no idea. But it was far more than they should have.
Oh, absolutely, especially in the SEC. So, I mean, that's what you're looking for if you're a UT fan, is what this defense is going to do. And again, I'm not sure how well you can gauge it in this game, but you know, if Ball State scores more than twice, I think you're going to be disappointed.
Well, I mean, if they go out there and put up, 200, 250 through the air, I think you start to worry.
Mm-hmm. You're right, because if Ball State can do that, then what's Keaton Slovis going to do?
So there's plenty of worry there. I think that's what you're watching tonight if you're a Tennessee fan.
Right.
And if you've got the secondary television, you're probably keeping an eye on the Backyard Brawl.
Mm-hmm. Which I've always enjoyed that game.
Did you see the video that West Virginia put out with Pac-Man Jones narrating?
I did not, but I think I'm going to have to.
It is a hype video for the ages. I mean, seriously, like, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up. I mean, if we can, here it's a minute long, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's worth it. I mean, seriously, it's good stuff. So I'll go full screen here and We'll throw it up there because I like I said, I think it's worth taking a look at. It's our state
versus your neighborhood.
Your neighborhood. It's all us against y'all. I mean,
oh goodness,
I'm fired up.
I'm
I'm
not a fan of either of those teams, but yeah, man,
I can't wait to watch this thing.
Goodness,
I really can't. I'm excited about
that's
it.
big time.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Look out, West Virginia.
And kudos to West Virginia for going to Pac-Man and not, Pat White or Steve Slayton or somebody like that.
Listen, man, we're going after the guy who. This is a fight, and if there's a single person in my history that I want fighting for me,
it's that dude.
It's that dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a brawl. It's a backyard brawl.
It's a brawl. So who better, right? Yeah.
Who else you gonna get to do it? That's what's so crazy, man. I'm excited. This is going to be a fantastic night of college football. On top of that game, and Tennessee, of course, you can also check out Alabama A&M is at UAB tonight. That's on CBS Sports Network, so that's always interesting. You can see, let's see who else we got. Central Michigan is at Oklahoma State on FS1. South Carolina State at Central Florida. Who cares?
Be nice.
Well, it's not on TV. So
okay.
That's the reason that ESPNU, La Tech at Missouri. Missouri 19.5-point favorites over La Tech. 19.5.
I'm taking the Bulldogs.
That's what I said.
Shoot. I mean, I know it's in Como, and I know it's I'm taking La Tech.
Let me tell you, the over under in this Pittsburgh West Virginia game is.
Hang on a minute. The over under in Pittsburgh West Virginia is 53.
51. I'm taking it over all day. So that would be my lock bet of the day is take the over.
Take the over, pound that over,
in West Virginia.
51.
Yeah.
So you're talking 27-24 is a push.
Yeah, I was gonna say 28-24 is a win.
Right.
So
okay,
I'm 100% in on that one.
Yeah.
And then Pac-12 after dark, Northern Arizona at Arizona State. With all the things going on at Arizona State, I think it's worth tuning in to see what Herm Edwards has got going on.
I think they're going to take out a lot of frustrations on the Lumberjacks.
It's highly likely. So I'd like to see that one. Plus, quarterback from LSU. Didn't one of LSU's 30 quarterbacks transfer out there?
No, Arizona State's quarterback transferred to LSU.
Okay.
Yeah,
I knew there was.
Yeah,
I knew there was some kind of connection.
Oh, there's quarterbacks everywhere, man.
And that, it makes it more difficult to pay attention to. Let's see, who is their quarterback? Emory Jones
from Florida
had transferred out there. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Man. So they've got some, and Paul Tyson, the former third stringer at Alabama, Bear Bryant's grandson.
Is it Arizona State?
Arizona State.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw the article a few weeks ago that Joe Rexrode did on The Athletic on Joe Milton.
No.
But
I did see that. Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, and it just kind of illustrated, you're talking about all the movement with quarterbacks from one place to another,
And here's this guy.
and this guy is sitting here. I'm sitting behind a dark horse, perhaps, but a Heisman Trophy candidate in Hendon Hooker, and waiting his turn.
But you are
and supporting that kid through it.
But you also know that just like you're a tweaked knee away from being in the ball game. And here's the thing. I mean, listen, if Milton doesn't tweak his knee against Pittsburgh.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy the way that works? I mean, I go back to that Titans-Rams Super Bowl game, even when Trent Green was the starting quarterback for the Rams in the preseason. If he doesn't get hurt, you're telling me we never hear of Kurt Warner?
Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
The literal GOAT may have been out of the league in 2 years if Bledsoe doesn't go down.
It's wild the way that works. But yeah, he's a tweaked knee, he's a sprained toe, he's any number of things away from the field, and they feel confident in him. So, hey, why not ride it out? And you still got eligibility pass this year too?
Yep, ride it out, man.
So
anyway, let's take a break here because we need to get into a little bit about the Braves. I've got questions. So anyway, we'll get there. You guys hang out with us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bar and Joint. We'll be back after this. This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee sports editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao here alongside Mo Patton, coming to you on this Thursday edition with a little high school football just around the corner. We'll pick 10 of the biggest games from across the mid-state here in just a few moments. We'll also pick all of the games here in southern Middle Tennessee as Mostradamus is in the building. Not with a gold chef's hat, much to the dismay of Dallas A. Jackson. So
apparently, yeah.
But that's okay.
Hate that we disappointed Dallas,
yeah,
but
you know,
it is what it is.
Dallas is just looking for the next comic book character. Is all. And, great dude, love that guy. Mo, let's take them back in time with a little This Day in Braves history. What do you say?
September 1st, 1999, Atlanta gets a 3-run home run from Brian Hunter, Big B, and a 2-run homer from Brett Boone to edge the Reds 8-7.
Big B too.
Yep, right.
Big B squared.
Exactly. Well, not as big as Brian.
No.
Brett's brother Aaron homers for the Reds, as does Sean Casey, as the Reds lose for the 8th time in 9 meetings with Atlanta. The victory 2 days before ended the Braves' 10-game win streak. So with this win, the Braves have won 11 of 12, basically.
And that one did not belong to the Reds.
That it did not. I saw the other day a hashtag ATT whatever, and this one belongs to the Reds. ATTOBR. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
this one belongs to the. That's
No, this one
of
belongs
my
to the
buddies,
Braves.
a big Reds fan, and every time they win, he puts it on his Facebook page, and I'm just like, all right, dude,
Enjoy it.
I mean,
because
it's
they've
good for
not gotten a
him.
bunch.
I
Yeah.
mean, dude, I hope they win a bunch right now. They were. I don't know who they're playing now, but they were in the middle of that series with Dodgers not too long ago, and they took one from them, so that was kind of nice. Just because, why do you not like, anytime the Dodgers can lose, that'd be great.
Except when they're playing the Mets.
Yeah. They did not lose last night. Of course, the Mets win, but tonight Kershaw and Bassett at 3:10 this afternoon. So,
So here in about 15 minutes. Then.
Yeah, they'll be getting started up in New York. So, of course, whatever the Mets do, the Braves will do.
Yeah. It's a little frustrating.
It is incredibly frustrating. If you are, and I know the answer to this.
Yeah, you do. Because you've even said it, man.
I know the answer to this in the world of the Atlanta Braves.
You know the answer to this in the world of baseball.
But if you were the manager, would Kenley Jansen still be your closer?
Yes, he would still be my closer. Now, does that mean he closes the next time we have a closing opportunity? Not necessarily. Especially with Iglesias out there. If you've not thrown him, maybe you just give Jansen a couple of days off.
I think my question would be, if you've got a guy like Iglesias, maybe you send a message. Hey, we've got other options.
I don't know that Kenley Jansen needs a message. I mean,
he's probably as hard on himself as anybody.
You listen to his comments coming out of that St. Louis game over the weekend, and he gets it. And he knows that he didn't get it done. Probably knows he didn't get it done last night.
Well, that's my point. I mean, okay, so that's great. He knows he didn't get it done, but he didn't improve. Well, I guess he did because he didn't blow it completely.
He still got the save.
Homer.
Yeah, he still got the save. So
he still got the save. Boy, he's just messing with my team ERA, man. Listen, I need him to be the closer because I need all the saves I can get.
So there you go.
But I just feel like I don't understand what the problem is. I don't know what is the issue.
I think the problem is that maybe we sitting here at 3:15 7th oversimplify this thing a little bit.
The guy's got 32 saves or something?
30. Last night was his 30th, his 8th year in a row to save 30 or more.
Maybe Eric Gagne and Mariano Rivera get you kind of messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems so frustrating that and this is what I've said.
The door is not closed when Kenley comes in.
This is what I've said 100 times, just like Will Smith last year. I'm fine if you blow a save to the Mets. But the Rockies, in the situation that we were in, the Cardinals even. Now, the Cardinals are good, but I don't think their lineup is, the Dodgers. I'm fine if you blow a save against the best hitters in the game. Mm-hmm. It's the guys.
Those weren't them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's my biggest issue is that I feel like, man, we can't even be sure we're going to beat the Rockies with a 3-run lead in the 9th. That's a problem.
It is. It is. I mean, again, you kind of come back to they drive Mercedes too, but I don't think their Mercedes should be as big as Kenley's and some of these other guys. But
20 road wins.
Yeah.
Was almost 21. And a series loss. after yet another gem from Kyle Wright.
Man, that was the one thing that I was sitting there saying, if we blow this game with Kyle Wright getting ready to be the major league leader in wins, I mean, forget what it does for the Braves. Just for that kid, it just continue. That game continues to validate the improvement that he has made over the past year, and he deserves this, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely deserves it. I mean, somebody said this, on Twitter. It said, I hope that he gets at least a little bit of love in Cy Young voting. If not, I mean, I'm not saying he's got to be number 1 or 2, but, 5 or 6 would be really good for him.
Well, again, I mean, he's 17-5, and he's got a sub-3 ERA.
His ERA sits at 2.85, which is obviously second best on the team for starters behind Max Fried at 2.56.
They're trending in different directions though right now.
Well, I mean, Max had a tough outing. I get that. Yeah. And Max has given up more hits, but walks a lot fewer people. So there's that. Of course, I guess if you throw more strikes, you're going to give up more hits, right? That's how it works. It's the major leagues. But yeah, so I mean, both of those guys deserve some love in the Cy Young voting, if you're asking me. I mean, without them, and of course Spencer Strider, who's going tonight, this team is not where they are now.
Oh yeah, no question.
Kyle Wright has been a massive deal on this rotation,
without question. And even more so because it wasn't expected.
Exactly. Nobody thought Kyle Wright was going to come in here and be the number 2.
And I think it's like you said yesterday. We were probably closer to trading Kyle Wright than
him being our number 2.
1A.
Essentially, sure.
So
finally got the 80th win, Mo.
Quicker than about 25 other teams.
That's the thing, is the Braves are sitting here with the 4th best record in the major leagues.
Mm-hmm.
In the major leagues.
Yep.
And we're all frustrated because we can't catch the
Frustrated as all get out. Frustrated as all get out.
It's like, golly.
I mean, there are there 4 teams with 80 wins? Let's see.
There may not be. I mean,
of course, the Dodgers have got 90, but still.
The Dodgers may win 115, feels like.
There are the Astros have 80.
Houston,
84. Houston, the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Braves.
That's it.
Have 80 wins or more.
Now, who's got – oh, no. There we go. Who's got 79? The New York Yankees. Aaron Judge hit 50 and 51 last night.
Okay.
So there you go. He's going to pass Maris. If he doesn't hit 65, I'll be shocked.
This is a contract year to end all contract years right here.
This is it, isn't it? It's like,
I mean, he should
my money.
He should just rent a Brinks truck and just park it in front of Yankee Stadium.
Please do.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, Aaron, please just get an armored truck and stick it out
and just
front.
sit it out front. Y'all just start throwing money in here and I'll tell you when to stop.
And here's the thing. The only team that could do that
is the Yankees.
And would do it is the Yankees. Maybe the Dodgers. But, I mean, quintessential Yankee, though. And that's the thing, you wonder, which with baseball not having a salary cap and all the money that the Yankees make,
Mm-hmm.
he can get whatever he wants.
And, you would think he can probably get more there than he can anywhere else.
Oh, yeah. There's no question.
So
I'm looking forward to the end of this season because watching Aaron Judge has been – I thought he was a little bit not overrated, but a little overhyped last year.
Well, because he's a Yankee.
And that was why I thought that. I thought they're only doing this because he's a Yankee. Well,
I tell you what has impressed me the most about Aaron Judge, and it's got nothing to do with him stepping to the plate. It's him having the athleticism to move from right to center and never miss a beat defensively.
Yep. I mean,
at 6'7", 240.
He's a first baseman. Built He's built like a first baseman, not an outfielder.
But he was a pretty renowned high school receiver.
He probably could have been a pretty renowned any level receiver had he chosen that path. But you know what? We tell people all the time, if you're a football player and a baseball player, which sport do you choose?
Well, it should be baseball.
Baseball. Every time. Every time. You don't get killed every play and no salary cap.
Boom.
So there you go. Braves tonight, 6:20? Yes, 6:20 on Bally Sports Southeast or Bally Sports South or one of the Bally's. I don't know. Your choice.
Check local listings.
Chad Cole, cool. Chad something. You can get a ticket for as low as $3. So,
but if you're not headed that way right now, you're not gonna make it. So,
well, here's the thing: you can get a ticket for $3 to see triple digits from Spencer Strider. So it'd be worth it. You get there in the middle of the third inning, be just about like seeing the whole thing.
You get there in the middle of the third inning, he's probably struck out 9
at this point.
So yeah.
Braves go with Acuna at DH. He said something about his knee last night. He didn't feel his.
He feels like where it is pretty much where it's going to be until the season's over with. And it threw it. Yeah, it's sore.
Can't imagine why.
If he don't mind, I mean, you've got to be judicious with it again. You've got to get him some days off when you can. You got to let him DH when you can. And hope that some kind of way that inflammation goes down enough that when you need him most later this month and beyond, he's going to be closer than he is now. So, but I mean, he's not going to be 100% until 2023. It's as simple as that.
Nobody in the Braves starting lineup has ever hit a home run off of Chad Cole.
It's okay. The Braves don't have to hit home runs.
Well, I'm just saying, I just thought that was interesting because he plays for Colorado. I don't know how many times we've played in
Colorado.
There, it's just interesting. But yeah, Braves should be a big one. So let's take a quick break, Mo. When we come back, we've finally got it. High school football is coming your way. We'll pick them right after this on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow, Mo Patton coming to you live from Columbia down here in southern Middle Tennessee, and with high school football Thursday here on the show, as we've got several Thursday games from across the mid-state and beyond. But, Mo, we get to talk about who's going to win. Luckily, you didn't bring your turban, so I don't have to wear a crystal ball. So that means I don't have to worry about I know you've already made these picks, so shouldn't be too much different.
No.
So let's
you on the other hand.
Yeah, well, I haven't been picking the Southern Middle Tennessee game, so I'm just going to let you keep doing that.
That's cool.
But last week, Mo, you went 5-5.
I did.
Tough week.
I struggled a little last week. Don't have that slate right in front of me to refer to, but I know I picked Gallatin to beat Blackman,
right?
And that was one that bit me.
Picked CPA to beat.
Picked CPA to beat Brentwood Academy. Picked Brentwood to beat Father Ryan,
right?
Which was a field goal game.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling too bad about that one.
Miss or get blocked like three of them to lose. So there's that.
I don't remember what the other two were, but yeah. Wasn't a great week.
It's okay. We're now tied on the year, 12-8 after I went 8-2. So that's good for me.
It's good for you.
Worked out great.
Yeah,
So here we go. We start in Murfreesboro. Blackman at Riverdale tomorrow night, 7 p.m.
I am 1-1 picking against Blackman. And I'm hoping to get to 2-1 picking against Blackman because I'm taking the Warriors in this one, 23-17.
I'm with you. I think the loss of the big tight end is probably it's going to be a bigger deal than you might think.
Ben Marshall, the Cal commitment, is out after getting ejected last week in that Gallatin game, and you've got to feel like there's some sort of a loss there.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably a safety valve for your quarterback, and if you don't have that, it's tough to get some things going. So I'm with you. I've got Riverdale 34, Blackman 20. Battle at Shackle Island. Hendersonville at Beach. Beach coming off a big win against Henry County. Hendersonville
won as well, didn't they?
Yes, they beat. That wasn't Kenwood.
No, I don't remember who they beat, but I'm pretty sure they won.
Yeah, but Beach at home, it's going to be a tough night for the Commandos.
I just think again, it doesn't matter where these two play. I mean, it doesn't matter where they play. It doesn't matter when they play. It's always a great ball game. I'm expecting it to be another great ball game. I'm expecting the Buccaneers to win it by about a field goal.
I'm with you. I think I got the Bucs in this one as well. So again, you're right. It's going to be a really good ball game, but I just think Beach has got a little bit too much, and I think Beach is going to challenge in Class 6A.
I think Beach is pretty good. Yeah.
McGavock at Cane Ridge, a little Metro Nashville action here. Big game for the Ravens.
I think it's a big game for both these teams. Both 2-0. Is that right?
They are.
I think Cane Ridge's tradition, their background of being in big games, I think is going to kind of make the difference in this one. I don't think McGavock is necessarily, used to what comes with playing in significant ball games to this point, just because they haven't in a pretty good while. I tell you what, if they win it, it will have Demetrius Bell will have something to do with it. The kid who was committed to Michigan State until not long ago. Of course, he was at Blackman until not too long ago as well.
There's that.
But yeah, I like Cane Ridge in this one.
I went against you here. I think McGavick. I think McGavick showed me a lot against Clarksville. Obviously, last week beat Hillwood. Cane Ridge coming off a big win against Antioch. That really doesn't tell you a whole lot, but they've already beaten Pearl Cone, which is a big win. So I think it's going to be a really good ball game, but I've got McGavick by 6 here.
Okay.
So Independence at Centennial. This is going to be a barn burner as always.
Anybody that knows me knows how much I want to take Centennial in this ball game.
CCCHS.
But much like McGavick, I'm not sure the Cougars are quite ready for prime time just yet. And so now, Independence, is Cody Pagash back? Is Ty Lockwood back from his appendectomy that has kept him out of this first couple of games? Don't know. But Independence has Trey Hartwell, and he can cure a lot of ills.
Oh, he absolutely can. When in doubt, hand
it
to
6.
Yep, hand it to him.
Yeah,
it's
never a bad idea.
That's right. So I'm with you. I've got Independence in this one, but again, it's mainly because of the experience. I think Independent. There's just something about lining up against a team who has beaten you the last couple of years. And honestly, I feel like this Centennial team is right there on the cusp.
I really do. And
I would not be surprised to see Centennial win this ball.
I would not be surprised to see Centennial win this ball game. And if they do, I'm going to be real interested to follow them to see what happens next. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because this could be a real confidence builder for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
MTCS at Clarksville Academy. Clarksville Academy ranked in the top 5 this week in the AP poll.
Yeah. And I'm not real sure who they've played necessarily. And I don't mean who their opponents are per se, but the caliber of the opponents they've played. And for that reason, I'm going with Middle Tennessee Christian close.
Big win over Webb School. I'm not sure what Webb's got in the
Webb School, who I think is in their second year back from 8-man.
And FACS. So again, strong, not strong opponents to this point. Middle Tennessee Christian 1-1. They fell to Grace Christian last week, 35-15. So in that, I think Clarksville Academy's got a big offense. Have had a big offense for the last couple of years, and they beat MTCS last year. So when in doubt, I go with the team that won last year.
There you go.
It has been a solid way of thinking over the last couple of years. So FRA at Davidson Academy, Franklin Road. This is a big one.
This is a big one, and the Panthers have shown a bit of a revival under new coach Justin Geisinger. I don't know. May have been a little expected when it all comes down.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
But I like Davidson Academy to get back to what you've come to expect out of them in this one.
Look, I'm not saying Franklin Road Academy's not got a chance here. I think it's going to be a close ball game. I got a touchdown, but I think Davidson Academy still, with their experience over the last few years playing in state championships in Class A, and now they've moved up to Class AA. I think Davidson Academy is just the better football team here. They'll win 28-21.
Right.
Staying in the private school sector, Pope Prep at Father Ryan. Kenny
Minshew's a bad man.
That's that. Look, I think Father Ryan's defense is really good. Clearly they are. I thought Brentwood, I didn't see Brentwood scoring just 7 points.
Right.
But Kenny Minchie's a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm with you. I think Pope Prep gets this one as well.
Yeah.
Once again, private schools. Donaldson Christian at Friendship Christian.
Donaldson Christian is the defending D2A state champion. As we were talking to Charles Rathbone, last year doesn't matter. But, Paul Wade has instilled a way of doing things out there that is pretty tough to beat. They're a physical football team. And they just kind of wear on you, I think. And I think that's kind of the key to this one here. I like DCA.
I like DCA as well in this one. I think you're right. I just went with the coaching matchup here, and DCA won last year. Siegel at Rockville. This is a tough one. Look, I got the Rockets here, but I mean, this is going to be a really good football game. A lot of people have put a lot into Siegel's win over Green Hill to start the season, but I'm still not really sure what to make of that. And I think Rockville bounces back from that Smyrna loss last week. I don't think they throw 3 pick sixes this week. Probably not.
So,
well, as much as common opponents don't necessarily matter, Rockville throttled Laverne. Siegel barely won. So
I did not even know that when I picked Rockville.
That was my thought process.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Brentwood at Summit.
Saw Summit last week. Destin, Keaton, and Brady were there.
They were not.
They were not in uniform. And I think that's going to be the difference in a lot of the Spartans games over the course of this season. The offense isn't quite there yet. I like Brentwood in this one.
I do too. I think the Bruins just get it done. I think they're probably a little angry from last week as well.
Last week and last year. So yeah.
So let's I've got the Bruins in this one as well. All right, so we move on then to Southern Middle Tennessee, where Mostradamus has spoken online. You can check it out, mainstreetmurray.com. We start with tonight. Mount Pleasant 2-0 at 1-1 Cascade.
I don't know if Mount Pleasant gets another shutout, but I think they get the win here. Man, they are really running wide open right now. And I got to tell you, man, Nick Brown looks like he's playing some pretty good football.
Yeah, and when you've got the option to turn around and hand it to Xavier Davidson or Ja'Carry McClure, you got to that's a pretty nice consolation, and keeps the defensive backs from getting too excited.
And I think athlete for athlete, Mount Pleasant is going to have an advantage tonight.
To me, I don't think there's anybody in that region that can match up with their athletes. It's a matter of execution. And here's the thing. They've executed the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've got Mount Pleasant basically by 2 touchdowns in this one.
You've already picked Brentwood Summit. So Columbia Central at Franklin County. I think this is going to be a huge matchup when it comes down to playoff position.
I'm going to let you pick this one.
You're going to let me pick it, huh? Well, I'm actually with you, Mo. I think Franklin County is going to be the better. Look, Columbia Central they've not found themselves yet. They're still struggling finding their identity,
mm-hmm.
and especially defensively. And look, if Franklin County's got half the athletes they had last year, that Rebels team's going to be tough.
Well, I believe all those athletes are back.
I think they're all back. So
yeah,
that's why I've got the Rebels in this one, just like you.
I do have the Rebels in this one.
We've picked Independence Centennial. How about number 1? Jackson Christian coming to Columbia Academy. Big win last week for the Bulldogs. What do you got?
Columbia Academy's home opener. I think that means something. and I think they're playing really well right now. I think they're playing with a lot of confidence. Jackson Christian's wins are over North Point and St. George's, and I'm not sure how good either of those folks are at this point. I've got the Bulldogs.
That's a big pick. That's the upset special of the week.
Don't call it a comeback.
Columbia Academy, has certainly made a believer out of me as well. Paige at Spring Hill. We talked to Coach Rathbone earlier today. If you missed that, go back and watch it. But Patriots, number 1 in Class 5A, taking on the 0-2 Spring Hill Raiders.
0-2 Spring Hill that does not expect to get Caden Martin back. He was supposed to have an MRI on his right knee this week. He injured it in the Jamboree. They think he's got some torn ligaments or a torn ligament. And like I said, don't expect to have him. Could have Chance Harmon back Friday night. He missed the Summit game with strep throat.
One of his throats was strep.
Yeah, go figure. Paige is really, really good. And like you said, Spring Hill is trying to find itself as well and trying to figure out its personnel.
Especially without Caden Martin. I mean, he was going to be a big deal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Ben Martin said coming into the season, he felt like he could be the best running back in that region. So you don't lose that from that offense and not miss a beat. Yeah. So.
Then finally, Summertown at Richland. Summertown, we told you yesterday, we'll have a new head coach tomorrow night. So what do we expect down in Linville?
I'm expecting Richland to kind of build on that Cornersville win. Again, you don't beat a team for the first time in 10 years and not take a little confidence out of it, a little swagger out of it. And I don't know that this was a team that was lacking in that anyway. So
they're just so deep. I mean, they're a Class A team, or well, I guess they're Class 2A now.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't play a lot of guys on both sides of the ball, and Summertown does.
And Summertown is young, and now they've got to get used to a second coach in a year. So I've got Richland in this one.
There you have it. That is what's going to happen this weekend. You don't even have to go to the games, but you should.
You should. Because clearly I've been wrong.
Well, only once last week here in
here we go.
In southern Middle Tennessee, where you know
a little bit more. I know a little something.
You know a little something down here. So there you go. Check out Mostradamus and MainStreetMurray.com or MainStreetPreps.com for the rest of Main Street Preps writers' picks of those 10 games we gave you across the mid-state. So come back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We'll have college football pickle. We've got Jeff Him, who comes with us each and every Friday. Looking forward to that. Talk a little Nashville Sounds baseball, as you see there. Go Sounds. And
we'll talk about the results from that UT Ball State game and Braves in some way, shape, or form.
All of
depends on what mood we're in.
All of that coming your way. 2 o'clock tomorrow, 4 o'clock this afternoon, George Plaster. So don't miss that as well. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. For Mo Patton, I'm Chris Shaw saying have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.